of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't lived the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and damn, they sent me where the life is be. The level 4 with depth and fights, the type of shit they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee, I refuse to die a chump. I never been a bitch, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get punked, some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5. Year-long racial fights, but homie, all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole, causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, bulldogs and skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF and Gumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. The Northerners was loony, quick to ride up on their rivals. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in their Bibles. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damoos, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IEs, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll, the Gangsta Crips move. Whatever click you choose, you better stick to the...
Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. You're down. Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. Yeah, that's me gassing on the intro. And listen, man, if you want to check that song out, it's available now. But for right now, it's only available on CD. So if you want to get that CD, man, get at me. Hit me up on Instagram at 16DALIFE, all one word. Or you can email me at 16thelifemusic@gmail.com, man. Now let's hop right up into this video, man. So yeah, today I'm gonna be talking about this guy by the name of Psycho, who I done some time with, and he led the charge in this riot in Ironwood between the blacks and the whites.
They call me Psycho, Psycho, Psycho. They call me Psycho. Yeah.
I never knew him or interacted with him personally, but we was on the same yard. I would see him often. It was obvious that he was a member of some white racial group, and actually it was obvious he also had a lot of juice on the yard as well. Later on, I was moved to the same building that he was in, and I stayed in that building maybe about a week and a half. Then I was moved on to C Yard. For a long time, initially, I thought the riot was behind a white Crip who had showed up on the yard. I mean, of course, the white Crip, he functions with blacks, and the whites view him as a traitor. And so for a long time, I thought that that was the cause of the riot. Even though at some point in time when he hit the yard, the administration got aware of the potential drama that was brewing, and they moved him off the yard right after dinner, maybe around 5:30, 6 o'clock. So later that night, around 7 o'clock, whenever we had night yard and we went to the yard, the riot still jumped off. And so I was always wondering, like, well, damn, man, if the administration took him off the yard, why did a riot still jump off, right? And so many years later, in talking to one of my homeboys, I found out that the riot was actually behind some bad drugs he had sold to Psycho. And so I'm gonna leave a description for that video if you want to check that video out. I think I called it The Riot About the White Crip that really wasn't about a white Crip, or something along those lines. So as I stated earlier, we ended up going out to the yard that night after the white Crip was taken off the yard and took to the hole, and a riot still jumped off. A few people was took to the hole, but many of us made it back to our respective cells. A few days after that riot, I was moved from the building that I was in, and I was moved to another building, and this building had the dude Psycho in there. Now, I happened to get moved into the cell with a dude by the name of JR. And while JR didn't gangbang, he had a brother on the yard who did. His brother was a lifer. He had been down a while, and he had some juice in his respective car, and him and Psycho had somewhat of a rapport. And so, of course, you know, when Psycho and my silly JR, his brother, would talk, some of those conversations would be filtered back to JR. So through having conversations with JR, he told me that it was rumored that Psycho was a mixed martial artist. Now, I'm going to show you guys a video. And in this video, Psycho is definitely bigger and more muscle bound than he was when I was with him in Ironwood. Now, when I was with him in Ironwood, he was well defined and cut up, but he didn't have quite as much weight on him as he did in this video.
They're coming from WWF today, two of the coolest guys you'll ever meet. They've both been there, done that. Just relax, because I know everyone gets stressed out. Basically, get one shot in every drill. If you screw up something, now's not the time for me to coach you and spend 20 minutes explaining what you did wrong. There's a time and place for that, and this is not it.
Y'all know the opportunities here. Let's kick some ass today and have some fun.
We have people that send us tapes, pictures. We have agents, football players that contact us, have their agents contact us all the time looking, wanting to be professional wrestlers.
This is the kind of day that we live for here. The pressure's on, they're going to be nervous, but hey, it's time to step up, and I'm excited. I think we're going to really make some big strides here today. But the top guys that I'm excited about, they're going to be seeing like Psycho, Matt Hall, and Sylvester Turkai. These guys have been working their butts off.
Be the man! You gotta beat the man, baby! Right now, I'm the man!
I've been doing No Holds Barred for about 7 years, and I have yet to go to Toys R Us and see a doll of me. But every professional wrestler is immortalized in video games and dolls, and I won 2 Pan American gold medals for our country. And after my first professional wrestling match, I signed 10 times more autographs than I ever signed in my No Holds Barred career altogether. So that's why I'm into this.
Now it's Matt Hall's turn.
If you take 50 guys and put them in the ring, one guy's going to stand out for one reason or another. And it may not be for his physical ability, it may not be for his physical appearance, it may be for his presence.
They call me Psycho! 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 They call me Psycho! Yeah! Ah!
Psycho, who has a lot of personality, and he's out there with it. He needs to work on his in-ring things, but that will come.
Put the little man in here and get Psycho! Come on, let me hear it! Let me hear it! Yeah!
He has that personality. It comes out of him, so it's natural. Go ahead. So, turn the volume up and go for it.
Come on, that boy! Come on! 1, 2, 3!
Natural talent, tremendous in the ring, a lot of personality, and has a total package. I think, he's somebody that will make it because you see how much he wants it. You guys put up a hell of a workout. You guys really should give yourself a hand for that workout.
Several weeks later, Sylvester Bear Turkai was called up to wrestle with the WWF. The same week, Matt Hall's life was sent in another direction.
He called me suddenly on a Tuesday night and told me he was in the middle of a trial, and he asked me to be there. And Matt was charged with a felony offense, and it was what you call a classic road rage. However, the other guys started it, and independent witnesses corroborated it. The DA focused heavily on Matt's background, called Matt a trained Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter who had no business kicking people on the freeway because he's a lethal weapon. Because Matt used excessive force in the confrontation, he was found guilty of committing a felony.
Thanks for coming. Great. We're waiting for Matt Hall to be sentenced, and came to say our goodbyes to him. Yeah, we have a lot of respect for him, and it's really a shame.
Since he started training, his mother, his brother, his fiance, and countless friends of his has said to me, Matt really has focus now. It didn't change him as a human being, but it changed the way he would act in certain situations. I really believe that. And I wish it hadn't happened. I think that stuff was behind him. I think it is behind him. And I hope to see him out as soon as possible.
Never give up till the wheels fall off.
Unfortunately, he was sentenced to close to the maximum term.
Matt Hall will not be eligible for parole until 2005.
I don't know how well you guys all was able to hear, because once again, the audio quality of that video is bad in some places, but the announcer is saying that Psycho appeared to have a very decent and promising chance of making it as a wrestler in the WWF. But at some point, he was involved in a road rage incident, and it sent him to prison, and he wasn't going to get out until 2005, or that's when he had a potential chance of being paroled. Now, the particular riot that I'm talking about that we were involved in was early 2003. Now, in that riot, if I didn't mention earlier, you had a large amount of whites grouped up on one side of the yard in Ironwood over there by the showers. And then you had a lot of the blacks grouped up by the basketball court. At some point in time, somebody said, "Get the niggas!" Of course, they said it with the hard ER. And it was believed to be Psycho. Actually, maybe about 5 or 6 months ago, I had a dude a white dude leave some comments in my comment section and said he was on the yard at the time. And yes, that was Psych who said that. Whether it's true or not, like I said, once again, I don't know. In the commentary that the dude was talking about when Psycho had ambitions to be a wrestler, he said that Psycho had the chance of being paroled in 2005. Now, somewhere in doing some research and trying to find more videos and reading some things, I read where he was paroled in 2016. So I don't know for 100% sure, but I'm assuming at some point in time he got reincarcerated, went back to prison, and he was paroled in 2016. Now, somewhere in I believe it was June in 2019, Psycho's name, along with 15 other people, comes out in a 16-person indictment from Sacramento, a federal indictment. And these dudes are facing some extremely serious charges, everything from murders. I believe it was actually, they was being charged actually with either participating in or conspiring to have people killed. It was 5 in-house prison murders that they was being charged with, attempted murder, racketeering, conspiracy, selling drugs. They was definitely charged with some very serious charges. I believe, if my memory serves me correct, 9 of them was already incarcerated. Psycho, having been paroled in 2016, to my understanding, was free. At some point in time, I believe, in him finding out that his name was listed in this indictment of these extremely serious charges, he made the decision to go on the run. Later on, while being on the run, he obviously made this video, and at some point in time, the video popped up on Vimeo, and I'm gonna show you guys the video right now.
Anything or anybody like a sack of fucking potatoes, including every one of you fucking pigs that thinks it's gonna come over my fucking house and I'm just gonna fucking cuff up. The hunters are now the fucking hunted. I said that. Psycho Matt Hall, P9 motherfucking Death Squad. I am white power. Neo-Nazi National Socialist fucking skinhead. Hail Robert J. Matthews. Hail Richard Katuri. Hail the fucking order. You motherfuckers want to give me 38 to life for nothing? Cuff up, Paul. Yeah, sure. Let me just put my hands behind my back and cuff up. No. I'm gonna take it to you, and you better come fucking deep, and you better tell the rookies to stay back, because I'm gonna be dumping on you guys. I'm gonna cut your cars in half with AK-47s, and I'm gonna sabotage you, motherfucker.
I believe it was on September the 27th, 2019, Psycho was apprehended in a city somewhere in Costa Rica. Now, you saw in that video, obviously, he was referring to the pending charges that he had on him. And he was saying that, you know, he wasn't going to jail, how he was going to go out fighting and shooting and so on and so forth. So obviously he knew that the charges that he was facing were extremely serious, and charges that, if being convicted of those charges, would bring him a lot of time in prison. And so in his mind, he felt that it was better to shoot it out with the police. And you see in that video, he's warning the police that if they come looking for him, he was going to get cracking with them guns, so on and so forth. Like I said, I believe it was September the 27th, 2019, that he was arrested in a city in Costa Rica. And then once he was apprehended by those Costa Rican authorities and took to a jail somewhere, several hours later, he committed suicide. I believe they say he hung himself. And I guess in his mind, he felt that it was better to hang himself than go back to prison for a long time. You see, he mentions in that video, you guys want to give me 38 years to life for nothing. So obviously he felt that he was facing a lot of time, and he preferred to take his life than go back to prison. Now, as I was doing a little research to see what became of the other individuals who was charged in that indictment, I seen that all of them, with the exception of 1 or 2, either pled guilty or were found guilty in a trial. And some of them was given life in prison. They was handed some lengthy sentences. And so you had a few of them too who was 69, 70 years old. So that's definitely a lot of time to be receiving at that age. I think I failed to mention earlier in the video too, those who was charged in that indictment, they say were either members of the Aryan Brotherhood or were affiliates of the Aryan Brotherhood. And actually one of those individuals who was extremely well-known name, well connected to the Aryan Brotherhood as far as the authorities are concerned, I believe not too long ago, he was charged with stabbing two correctional officers as he was brought out of his cell. The reports on that incident say that he was being escorted somewhere, coming back from somewhere, when suddenly he pulled out a weapon and attempted to stab the correctional officers. I believe they say they maced him and he dropped the weapon, and now he's facing more charges on that situation right there. But you know, when you're 69, 70 years old, you already got life in prison. That stuff is just, you know, insignificant, a slap on the wrist. To be quite honest, it's no chance that he'll ever get out of prison again. They'll definitely keep him in there until he passes away. So anyway, I just wanted to share that video with you guys. I happened to be scrolling across YouTube a while ago and happened to run across that video, and so I saved it, finally came back to it, did some research, and broke it down for you guys, gave it to you like that. And if you haven't seen my other videos where I talk about those initial riots, I will definitely be sure to leave a link to those in the comments so you guys can check those out. I'll definitely be sure to leave a link to those in the description, and I also may leave one in the comment at the top so you guys can see that and check that out. But anyway, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Get at me if you want that CD. Resume normal program.